Welcome back to number 4, the 4th episode of the TRP podcast. I believe this is number 4.
Yeah.
This one's going to be titled our Turkey Cast. Turkey season's right around the corner. I think we're, 2 weeks out? 3?
Something like that.
We're pretty close. I don't even know the date, but we're close.
You can find the date.
Lots happened since we talked last. We made a road trip, done some things,
Made a road trip.
went down
Decided
to,
where we're going to go this fall.
we did. We made a decision. Let's hope that all plays out.
April 12th to May 4th. So we're about 20 days.
Sweet. It's coming. It's around the corner. I'm excited. Been seeing some birds, getting me pretty hyped up.
I'm excited. Still haven't bought any bullets. But
I'm going to shoot the ones that I shot last year because all 5 are still in the box.
yeah, that'd be my story too. But we're shooting 20 this year, so gotta get some 20 gauge.
I thought about it, but I'm gonna stick with what I got. Let's jump in kind of where we left off on our last one. I think we talked about going to the turkey show in Nashville.
Yeah.
We made the road trip. That was an early morning and a late evening.
Early morning and late evening. It was that. It was not supposed to be that late.
And that place was absolutely packed.
It was wild. And I think the number one thing for that was that there wasn't a Sunday show this year.
I agree.
For the weekend, you either went Saturday or you didn't go.
So with that being my first time ever going, that like it kind of spoiled me. Like I liked it, but then again, it kind of ruined me because there were so many people there.
Yeah.
You could not function.
And we didn't get there as early as I would have liked either. Like last year, we were waiting for them to let people in,
Right.
and this year we kind of came in with the rest of the crowd. But
It was
I don't know.
it was an experience to say the least.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, but I mean, it's just like right when we left about lunch, it was too many people to enjoy the show really.
What it probably took us 15 minutes just to get out
Longer
of the
than
actual
that.
place.
I mean, we were stuck.
Everybody coming in at once. There was
People
no outline.
people jumping gates and
It was.
like,
I've never seen that many people packed into one place.
well,
But I had a great time.
well, I heard him say while we were standing there right by the check-in booth that last year they had 65,000 on the Saturday show, and I think while we were leaving, they said 90 something
Oh, that doesn't surprise me one
had
bit.
checked in
Yeah.
while we were leaving at noon. So who knows how many they ended up with on the day.
Well, we made that trip when we got to the far end. I had a wild hair. I wanted to go back to the Seek One booth. Terrible mistake.
Yep.
We should have stopped on the way by the
Right
first
whenever
time.
we were there, right whenever Lee was supposed to be coming out, and that's what I think. I think when we went in that booth, we kind of made some people mad
Yeah, that guy asked me.
because
He said, "Are you here to meet Lee?" And I was like, "No, man. I'm just here to get some merch."
because his eyes kind of got like, well, what are these guys doing cutting this whole line?
We walked right past everybody. Well, it took us 15 minutes to get from the back of the line to the actual
And just
booth.
walked right in the booth, and a lot of the traffic jam was due strictly on Realtree. Whenever
Yeah,
they had that alarm going off and
Yes.
launching shirts off that truck and
that was
everything,
that was wild.
but a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there's some new stuff coming out this year, but a lot of it's just same old stuff, kind of just their 2025 model of it.
Right. I
But
enjoyed it. I got to see a lot of new things
yeah,
that
talked
I
to some
haven't
people,
seen.
maybe made a few connections.
Everybody's gonna have to bear with us on this podcast. We're both down with
It's
allergies and sinus.
yep, in spring.
But yeah, I had a great time. Saw lots of new things, like you said. Probably made a few connections that may be good in the long run. I know for sure I made one connection that I've already looked at their products, and we may be seeing some of them before long. We'll just have to see how it
I
goes.
keep forgetting to ask you about that if we're gonna make a move on that or not, or what you saw when you did some looking.
I did some looking, and the guy was right. You're not going to find a better deal. So, probably going to stick with them. I cannot remember for the life of me. I looked at that leather patch he gave me yesterday that has his brand name on it, and I cannot remember what it's called, but I'll figure it out. I'll look at it again, get back on the website, do some shopping around.
But anyway, what we just talked about, what are you gonna shoot this year?
Well, I reckon I'm gonna break out the trusty Beretta.
Trusty Beretta.
I duck hunt, I shoot trap, I do everything with that gun. It's a small around gun. I'm gonna throw my pattern master goose choke in it and call it good for turkeys.
Yeah.
It's killed every turkey that I've ever killed, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch it up this year. Last year, I hauled the Frankie around the woods, and it's a good gun, but man, it's pretty heavy.
That's that's one thing I love about that Beretta. It's not very heavy, and with that kickoff stock on it, you still feel a turkey load, but it cuts it down a whole lot.
So this year I'm gonna shoot the little bitty 20 gauge and hopefully kill a bird with it. I don't know.
What shells you gonna shoot?
It's an awesome question. I'm shooting
Uh-oh.
I'm still shooting. I'm gonna shoot my duck choke just 'cause it's tight. It's a
Right.
Jebs, uh, whatever their duck choke is, high voltage, but I forget the number. It's so tight that they don't make it anymore 'cause too many barrels are blowing up.
Oh, that's awesome. I
So,
really want you right next to me in the turkey
well,
woods.
no, I'm shooting steel duck
Oh, okay.
loads, so I'm saying it's gonna be tight enough to kill a turkey. You know, I'm not gonna be making these 60, 70
Right.
yard shots. You know.
I'm gonna pull out the good old 3.5 inch TSS, and I'm gonna let them hum.
I still am on the fence if I'm gonna go up there and buy a box of TSS or not.
Just do it. Don't just buy them.
If you, I mean, that's what me and Dad were talking a while ago before you got here. If you could get a TSS and like some sixes,
Yeah.
I'd be all over it.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, eights and nines are little bitty,
I've
and
shot a
even like Apex small town blend
yeah.
nines and tens, that seems little bitty to me.
I agree. Yeah, it is. I've so the first bird I ever shot with those TSS, at most 30 yards at most, and I almost split his head in two. It was deadly. And then the second bird I shot with them was in the edge of the woods at about 65 yards, and the bird didn't even flop after I shot him. I mean, killed him stone cold.
The only thing kind of that's stopping me from just going and getting them is every bird I've killed so far in my life has been killed with lead shotgun shells, and I haven't had any problem killing them with lead shotgun shells. But I've killed them all with 12 gauge.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking that the TSS would be better out of the 20 gauge, just because, and that kind of is what's making me try and make myself be okay with the smaller pellet too, is because you're getting so many more of them, and the mass of them is, I don't know. I don't know all the math of it. How like a 8
Yeah.
TSS is probably comparable to like a 7 lead,
I'm no mathematician when it
6 or
comes to
7
that.
pellet lead. I don't.
You would think I would know that stuff shooting for so long, but
Well,
I don't have a clue.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they work. You can see the videos, and but
But I papered my gun with those with that and that yeah, it's Patternmaster Anaconda. I think of what it was. And those 3.5 inch TSS. I put them on paper at I think it was I did a 25 and a 40 yard. Man, it's insane. But the thing about a Beretta, that Beretta specifically, it pulls right. I don't know what it is about the gun. You can shoot anything on paper with it, any shell, any choke, and that gun pulls to the right. And really honestly think that's a Beretta thing, but that's something I've gotten used to.
have you? I'm sure you have, but have you tried shimming your stock?
Not on that gun, I haven't, because I learned how to shoot with it so well. I didn't want to mess it up.
Because I
And
was about to, like my M2, it came with like,
right,
you can obviously shim it up and
yeah,
down to get you looking right down your rib, but it can also like kick the gun itself to the right or left
right. Well,
to where your stock will be like
my
angled.
new Beretta, my over and under my Silver Pigeon, with them having a right hand kick. When I ordered it from the guy, he ordered a bare stock for it, just a piece of wood, and he cut the stock to how I wanted it. to fit my face. So that gun, when it's in my hand, I mean it's straight every time. But that's how I shoulder it, and that's how I shoot it. And I may even break that sucker out. I don't know if my anaconda will go in it or not. My I don't know. It may have to have a different choke, but it ain't nothing but a thing. I can order one.
I mean, it's Beretta. They ought to be the same.
Well, it depends though, because you got the Unico Explorer, and then you got the Explorer, and then you go to over and under. You got 686, 687. A lot of them have different barrel threads. Because most people on an over and under, depending on what they're doing with it, if they're shooting competition with it, they get it tubed anyway. You can just change the tubes out. But I'm gonna run the 12 gauge A400 with the Anaconda in it, and I'm just gonna send it, see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. May buy a box of TSS, may not. Still on the
Just
fence.
I shot last year. I had one TSS and 3 Longbeard XRs that were left over from the year before, and so I missed that turkey opening morning twice. I missed it. First shot was DSS coming out, and then when my Longbeard came out and it ejected from the gun, BBs fell out of the bottom of my gun everywhere. And that I don't know if that's a Longbeard XR thing, but I even see that happen, like with them coming straight out of the box, the bottom bust out of them, and I guess the packing that's in with the BBs, I don't know if it's silicone or what's in with them. It just rots down, and all your BBs fall out, and then they're useless.
Speaking of those old Winchesters, the videos I've seen so far, the Longbeard TSS that came out, have not been too impressive.
I haven't seen them. I heard about them, but I have not seen a video of
I
them yet.
was thinking they were gonna be some good shooters, but
It's a Longbeard thing, man. I don't know what it is about those shells.
well, you're the only person I've ever talked to that doesn't like
Really, I've heard 2 or 3 say the same thing, that they bust,
them.
or like if they cycle in your gun, then the bottom falls out of them, and all the BBs will roll out your barrel. I've personally had that happen. Just shooting it on paper, I've had that happen.
But what are you gonna be using to call them in?
Well, funny enough, I've got 6 mouth calls.
6.
6. I've got 3 power calls that were specialty cut of Mr. Brady Parrott himself.
Yeah.
They're actually 2 years old. I think it was before he left uptown and come back to work down here. He made them for me. They still blow fine. I mean, latex is probably getting shot at them, but they still sound all right. And then last year's calls that I bought to replace those calls were the MTC game calls. I bought the 3-pack from Matthew Toon, and I love them. They're great. Then I've got the good old box call. I don't even remember which box call I have. Maybe a Quaker Boy. I'm not sure. Then I have a Night and Hell slate call somewhere in a pair of Sika pants from last year. I really don't know which pair of pants it's in, but it's in one of them. So that's probably what I'm gonna. I love a mouth call, but sometimes you got to get down to the nitty gritty and get out the slate call, or even hit a gobble on a box call.
All I'm gonna have in my vest is, well, it's gonna be 2 mouth calls, but they're gonna be the same one, just in case I
Right.
lose one of them. And I've got an old, or not old, it's probably 10 years old. I got it. That was the first turkey call I ever bought. Little kid at the turkey show.
Yeah.
I bought it. It's an old Primo something. It's like in the end. Last year's turkey show, I bought that crystal call. Yeah, bought a crystal
Yep.
pot call, and then I actually, like, I'm not gonna say paid good money, but more money than I probably would have liked to on a striker for it,
Yeah.
just because the striker that came with it is the same one that came with that slate call. I don't know how much messing around you've done with like a slate versus a crystal glass call,
I've
but
never touched a crystal.
well, it's so like your slate call, like, when you sand it,
Right.
that stuff is so soft. Crystal is not.
Completely different.
Yeah, and so that slate call and the crystal call came with the same striker. And I don't really know why Primos does that. I figured they would want you to have the most success out of your.
It's one of those BOGO package deals.
I guess so, but if you put that soft, I get one. It's probably maple striker
Yeah.
on that crystal. It just does not do good because it's so soft that it just slides right over the crystal.
Right.
And so I bought a. I don't even know what kind of wood it is, but it's a. I don't know what kind it is either, but it's real hard wood, and it bites down on that crystal, and it's real raspy. I like the crystal when I do the slate, but I can call a lot softer on that slate.
Right. The only reason I have 6 mouth calls is because I bought the ones last year. Because I actually thought I lost my power calls. I thought I laid them down in the woods, could not find them. The day after turkey season went out, I found them. So I'll probably only carry last year's calls with me. I just keep the other ones in my truck just in case. But that 3 pack, I don't remember what cuts are in there. I know there's a ghost and a bat wing. I don't remember what the other cut is. It may be like a hybrid specialty cut that he did, but
I forgot
they're awesome.
what kind. It's a rolling. Audrey, will you give me that call over there on the pool table?
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend here. We got a assist coming in. Here it is. This one
There
ain't
it
even have the
is.
package yet. The other one's getting broke in. Hunter Wallace, HW1.
Let me see that bad boy.
I love it. That's what I blew last year, and I blew latex is starting to split on it, so I went ahead and
Yeah.
bought 2 of them this year.
I like that cut.
I like them.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
That reminds me almost of man, I don't remember who made that call. I want to say it was called the Red Wasp or the Wasp, something, but it had a unique cut, and that was one of the best sounding calls that I've ever heard.
This one, I just like it. It's got such a range on it.
Right.
You can finish birds and not have any rasp in it at
Yeah.
all, or you can call real loud and have a lot of rasp, and you can cut burr. I don't know. I just like it. I like a bat wing cut, and this is the one that I don't know. That'll just blow the best. I guess I don't know. I like
That's
'em.
one thing I found with Matthew Toon's call. It's the Batwing. It's the same cut as that. It's a Batwing. Man, you can really hammer down on that thing, be loud and raspy.
Yeah, and I mean,
And you can also you can get on it and you can do some soft tree yelps
Yeah.
and be real quiet with it. And having variety, I think that's number one key when you're calling a bird.
being able to put that one call in your mouth and not take it out, I
agree.
think is the
And I think that's probably what I did last year. I'm sure I did. I usually pick a call that I'm feeling that day and that I think the birds are feeling, and that's what I
carried-
stick with.
I carried this one with me last year. Then I had a Woodhaven something, and it was a real soft call. I forgot what cut it was too. It was like I guess the combo cut, like one side's a bat
Yeah.
wing, then one side's kind of a half moon.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm not gonna carry it. I didn't hardly blow it last year. This was just perfect. Like you could be loud and locate a bird, and then
Yeah.
get soft with it too. I would say finish a bird, but I didn't make that happen last year. So.
I actually had somebody finish a bird for me last year. We talked about that in our last podcast, and at about 25 yards through a couple sticks, all on video, I whiffed. It's I've always been told, I haven't turkey hunted for as long as I've deer hunted, but I've always been told since I started turkey hunting, if you don't miss a bird, you're not hunting enough, and you're not mad enough at them. And now that I've missed a bird, I agree. That goes for everybody.
I missed one last year, but it wasn't really like a miss versus I shouldn't have shot at all. But I'll get into that another time. Probably don't have enough time tonight to tell the
Story for another time.
It's a pretty long one. It was a long day of hunting and just mad at him, like you
Yeah.
said. And I was like,
I've been
I'm
there.
throwing some BBs at this dude, and then I'm going home.
I've
He
been
may
in
die,
those
he may
shoes.
not, but I'm going home.
Yep, I've been in those shoes. What's your plan on a decoy? You got a decoy picked out? Are you gonna
Yeah.
use one? What's going on there?
I've got 2. I've got an Avian X LCD lookout hen, but I've also got a Walmart special. It's just called, I don't even know who makes it, what it is, but it's called the Jill. She's seen it. She likes the Jill. It's literally, hear me now, it's a balloon.
Uh-oh.
Like a pool inflatable is how you blow it up. I gotta sit out there every morning before I sit down.
You're gonna have to get
blow
you a
up
straw.
blow up this decoy. Alright. And then it's got a little pop on the head there, and it's got some like plastic shavings hot glued to the head. And you set it out there, and hey, you may laugh, but once the sun gets shining on
Hey, I
her,
ain't laughing.
look, the year before last, when we had those jakes out there in that field, they were all on Jill.
I bet they were fired up about
Nothing
Jill.
was touching the $150 AVNX.
Oh, big Jill.
These three were all over Jill.
That's how it goes.
$14.99 at the Walmart.
You can go spend $200 on a flocked head, full blown out decoy, and a bird not even look at it. A bird flare off of it and get shy of it. Or
Yeah.
you can go spend, like you said, $14 and buy the Jill. It always works that way. You can go spend a lot of money and it never work, and you can spend just a little money and it work awesome.
As far as like a Jake or Tom decoy, I'd never really run one of those.
I've tried it. So the first turkey I ever killed, killed it over old school B-Mobile. Had the Tom with the paper thin flag material fan that comes with it.
Yep.
Looks awful. You can see through it. And then I had the hen stuck out there with it.
We got one of those out there at the shop. Except we had because it comes with the kit to put a real fan in it too. So we did that. But I mean,
I think I tried that, putting a real fan in it and trying to reap with it. But dude, that thing is just so big and bulky.
I don't understand how they call it a B-Mobile.
There's nothing mobile about that.
No, it's a big, floppy, heavy.
It's huge.
I don't get it.
I used to have to set mine over a 5-gallon bucket out in the sun just to keep the wings from folding up under it.
Yeah, that's how ours is folded up like a dang taco out there in the shop.
But the only decoy that I have and use now, I still have the B-Mobile. It's probably in a bag somewhere out there in the she shed. But I have a Jake run and gun strutter, whatever it's called. It's just like a flat face. I'm trying to think of the name of it, man.
Reaper?
No.
I mean, it's a flat face.
I forgot what I call it. But yeah, it's a reaper. It's for reaping them. That's the only thing I take with me, and it's got a Jake fan on it, and it's actually been modified. I guess it was a long beard, and you put a long beard fan on it, but somebody took some scissors to the beard and made it a Jake, and so I put a Jake fan on it that I acquired somehow, some way. May I accidentally shot a Jake one time, and I put that Jake fan on it, and I take it with me everywhere I go, just in case you got to pull it out and use it. But other than that, man, especially on opening morning, I'm not setting a decoy up. If anything, seeing how the birds act the week before season, maybe take a hen, but I highly doubt it. I just like to go in with no decoy, see how they're acting, and play it by ear.
This year, I can probably see myself only packing Jill.
Yeah.
Because you can take the air out of it, goes right in the vest.
That's the best thing about it.
The AVNX is real big, and I don't really like that it's a lookout. Jill, she's a feeder. She's out there calm. I don't really like a lookout because that's like for some reason that gives me like that's an alarm turkey right there looking up. I agree. Like I just heard something. I don't know what it is, and I feel like if something's coming into that and they see that lookout with her head way up, they're gonna be like, "Well, I don't want to go over there."
Right. Yeah. I agree. Well, like I said, the first time I ever killed a turkey, I killed it over the B-Mobile. Second bird I killed, there was no decoy. The sun wasn't, it was legal shooting light, but the sun wasn't even up over the horizon yet. And I was set up behind a dirt pile. Brady was calling. We heard him gobbling at 50 yards. He was hitting them with some soft yelps. And man, when their feet hit the ground, they did not let up until he stopped them at 30 yards, maybe even closer than that. No decoy, strictly just some mouth calling, some little light mouth calling. They came right to us looking for that hen first thing when they hit the ground.
I've never not hunted over a decoy, so
Right. And it's different for everybody. It's what you want to do and how you want to do it. And in my opinion, it's not all about you and how you want to do it. What do the birds want?
yeah.
I mean, year by year, it's different.
Well, this year opening day, I'm gonna say they're gonna want a hen sitting out there.
Yeah.
'Cause I've got pictures of them strutting.
That kind of moves us along to how the birds are acting this year. If we've seen any, I've seen some birds. I saw several the other day. I meant to call you and completely left my mind, but I drove by one of my farms, slipped in there real quick. Thought, let me see if there's any birds out here. Well, there was about 60, and there were 4 toms already locked up, fighting, ready to go, and we're still 20 days out from season. We
Yeah.
were 25 days out from season then. But yeah, I don't know about you if you've been out driving around
I have
looking,
not.
seen anything. Of course, I know you're working
I go, yeah.
hardcore now, so
Go to Metropolis in the dark, come home in the dark.
yeah, that's rough. I have not made it out to listen yet. I know some buddies that have made it out to listen. They've heard some birds. I think it's that time. I'm gonna try next week, a couple days before work, get up and go listen, and just
You need to
get an
be.
idea.
You need to scout me out of birds since I can't.
I know that's the plan. I plan to scout out. My goal for this year is to put Dad on a bird. He's never killed a turkey. He's 50 something years old. Never had a shot on a turkey. So I want to get him on a bird. Got to get you on a bird. Then I can worry about myself.
I'm hopefully gonna wake up in the morning and go down to our Wycliffe farm, and I got to move my camera around, and I just want to go in there and listen. I'm sure there's. Last year I went down there and listened, and the closest bird was way too far. I had a few pictures of them just like wandering through, I guess, but
Right.
the
Yeah.
only ones I heard were way too far.
The other day, so on the last podcast, I think we touched on Tacticams and the batteries and stuff. One of them we did. My Tacticam with the rechargeable pack in it finally died about a month ago, and I have not made it out. So finally, the other day, I was gonna go shed hunting. I thought, well, I'll slip by that camera, pull the battery pack out, charge it up, get it ready for turkey season. There's probably no turkeys in this food plot using it. They usually stay down in the woods. And on my way to the trail camera to pull the battery pack out of it, I walked through a muddy spot and I just happened to look down. Man, I don't know what kind of feet a pterodactyl have, but if they look anything like a turkey, that was a pterodactyl track. I've never seen a footprint from a turkey that big in my life. But good sign. Hopefully I got a lot of birds.
I know where I could get on one easy, but I won't be able to. I know where there's 9 at.
Uh-oh.
I won't be able to.
Somebody got you shut down from that.
Somebody's got me shut down from
I
that.
had to have a family feud over that one.
But I don't know. I understand it.
It's yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. I've been there and done that with my own family. And that's what happens when it comes to hunting. But yeah, I've seen several birds, seen some birds fighting already. Haven't listened. Did go shed hunting. Found me 4 good sheds the other day. Well, I found a match set and then 2 left sides. One of the left sides, I don't have a picture of that deer. I don't know where it came from.
You will not catch me shed hunting.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I do not.
Of course, you're back in the gym now. I've been going to the gym. That's just my form of cardio. If I want a cardio day, I'm gonna go walk for sheds or look for mushrooms.
The only time you will catch me finding an antler or finding a mushroom is while I'm turkey hunting. Something about it, like, I mean, it's not like I don't like going into the woods. I don't like blindly walking hoping to find something.
Okay, so for the past, and we're getting a little off topic, but for the last 4 years, I've shed hunted religiously, gone and walked miles. I have found 2 sheds in the last 4 years.
Yeah, see,
And they
that's
were on
just
accident, not even while I was shed hunting. They were on strictly accident. And I've walked 4 farms already this year. And then the other day I was like, this is it. If I don't find a shed, I'm done doing this. I'll just look for mushrooms, and that'll be it. I took off walking. I make my way up the hill to the food plot, and I just stopped for a minute to kind of look around, listen, see if maybe I heard a turkey. It was kind of late in the afternoon. Listen for a turkey. And it just so happened to look down and pull my phone out of my pocket, and there's a shed under my right foot. I'm literally stepping on the base of it, and I'm like, well, ain't this something? So I take off walking, and about a mile later, I find the match side to it. But after about 4 miles, I ended up with 4 sheds. And I've always been told, if you're going to go look for sheds, look near a fence or a ditch where a deer's got to jump over it. No. Every one of these sheds was in the wide open, the most random place. And it made me so mad because my whole time shed hunting, the last 4 years, I've always been walking ditches and fences. And then I found all these 4 in the wide open. But
so
anyway,
I
that's
know there's a method to the madness on how to find sheds, but
right. And
I don't
there's some
know.
people that are absolutely ate up with it.
Yeah,
I had somebody call me that doesn't even deer hunt, makes pocket knives,
likes finding sheds
and likes finding sheds.
more than they like deer hunting. I know a
Right.
few guys like that, and I'm like, man, I don't mind walking. Don't mind being out in the woods, but man, I just can't blindly walk hoping to find an antler.
Yeah,
I
that could
don't
have been
know.
lost anywhere. I know, yeah, and I know a lot of people that are that way. My dad, he would not go walk and shed hunt for anything. He will tell me to go look next to a ditch or a fence because he's done it back in the day, but you couldn't get him to do it now. And there's some people that just won't, and that's all right.
Like
That's just more for me to find.
it's cool to find one, but I ain't just gonna go out looking for them.
The other day when I found that shed, I was like, this is awesome. And then I found the match side, and I was like, this is sweet. And then I found the one off of a deer that I had pictures of and that I could have potentially shot. He played me a couple times. I found a shed off of him. I'm like, man, I love this. This is awesome. Now, if I'll ever find another shed, I don't know. Probably not. But I found 4 and I thought it was pretty cool. Found some turkey tracks and possibly some places that they're roosting. So, it's that time of year where you can kind of do it all. You can go look for sheds, listen for turkeys, and maybe even find a mushroom. I haven't found a mushroom yet, but
I
hopefully that's coming
saw
soon.
a random Facebook group the other day. This just Kentucky Morel hunters popped up on my Facebook,
Yeah, I'm in that group.
and they're just like, first one.
Yeah, I saw that. So I was scrolling through the other day, and they said they found it in Ballard, but I don't know. It's getting that time. Turkey season's around the corner. Mushrooms are coming up, according to the Facebookers. The sheds are laying in the wide open. So we just play the waiting game. We got 20. He said 20 days. So
Yep, got everything coming in to be able to hopefully make a turkey hunting video, tripod, and
yep,
all that
that's
stuff coming in.
the last thing I kind of want to touch on. Is we're gonna do some filming. We're gonna
That's
do
gonna be a
some
new,
recording. So
even like we said, probably one of the first or second podcast, something that's gonna be hard to difficult or difficult to learn. Not just you're not turkey hunting anymore. We're trying to make a
right, we're trying to film content, and
trying to make content out
that's
of it. That's
a
gonna be
that's a new learning curve for us.
you think
So
you've got to be still hunting a turkey, and now we're gonna be trying to move a camera around while we do it. It's gonna be.
yeah, I agree.
I hate to say it, but I mean, the first one or two may get busted if we're lucky. Obviously, it'll just go flawless.
Right, yeah. That
We'll figure out the mics
get the microphone set
and we'll just
and
kill
roll
one
with the
perfect.
camera.
I mean, I got a skin for my camera. It's gonna be camouflage. I'm gonna end up spray painting the fire out of that tripod just because
Yeah, don't want anything
I
shining
don't
on
want
it.
anything shining or I want everything. I don't know. I just want it to blend in. I want it to give us as good as a chance as we got.
I agree. Well, I think that's all we got for the turkey cast, really,
Yeah,
until we get some hunting done.
we're gonna do it.
We're gonna play the waiting game until season comes in, get some hunting done, and then we may even throw something out mid turkey season
See how
somewhere in
it's
there.
going.
Just do a little check in, short
Hopefully, we
podcast.
throw a video up mid turkey season. That'd be pretty cool
I'm
too.
hoping by the first 3 days of turkey season, we've got a banger video putting together.
Sadly, the only deer kill we had this year. I owned a camera. The day after I killed that deer is when my camera arm came in to film it. So
I priced another camera at Best Buy a few weeks back, and it's not in the budget for this go around for this turkey season.
oh
But
my gosh.
I know I'm tight. But hopefully soon we'll have another camera and put some more content out.
I need to. Well, we'll talk about it another time.
We'll get it on the next podcast.
Yeah, this is the podcast conversation.
Well, we're gonna close the turkey cast out. Like I said, we'll be back hopefully mid turkey season, maybe late turkey season. But thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep.